You want to start your self-development journey, but you don't know how. Everything you're reading, everything you're listening to seems really complicated, it seems really costly, and it seems extremely time-consuming. You don't have the time, you don't have the money, and you don't have the patience to understand where to begin. I will give you 3 simple steps that you can start now if you're thinking about your self-development journey. The first step is reading books. Now, I know this seems super simple, but honestly, it is a great place to start. There are hundreds and thousands of people who have created and published books in our lifetime. There's bound to be at least one person that you can resonate with, one person that is going through or has gone through what you are going through right now. You can relate to them, and you can also learn how they conquered where you are right now and how they move forward. There's got to be a book out there that you can relate to and can help you. So, instead of scratching our heads and thinking, where do we start on our self-development journey? We can literally just pick up a book that resonates with us and that can help guide us along the way. Now, there are 3 books that I would 100% recommend if you are starting your self-development journey. Book number 1 is called The Alchemist. The Alchemist is a story about a shepherd who has come to a crossroads in his life. He has this inner voice, this inner calling that is telling him that there is treasure in Egypt that he can find. But he also has this full-time job as a shepherd. Now, he can either pursue his dreams and embark on his journey to Egypt to find this hidden treasure, or he can continue doing what he has been doing all of his life. So this book really talks about how the universe is always giving us signs, which in this book is called omens. Certain people listen to these signs, whereas others don't. Certain people pursue their passions and lead a fulfilling life, whereas others don't. One of the key takeaways for me is that the universe is going to keep showing me signs until I pursue my passion and I fulfill what I'm here to fulfill. Another key takeaway for me is that we all have our own individual purpose to fulfill. We all have our own path to figure out and navigate. And this book really puts that into perspective. It puts into perspective how we can make a decision, we can make a choice, and that tends to be starting a self-development journey, bettering ourselves and figuring out where that leads. It's a great book to get you started on opening up your heart, thinking with your heart, and pursuing a more purposeful life. My second book recommendation is a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. This is one of the first books of his that I had read, and honestly, it blew my mind. It's such an amazing book. It's basically where science meets spirituality, and it puts a lot of science behind spirituality. It talks a lot about meditation, the benefits of meditation. There's a lot of brain scans and evidence. Honestly, it is amazing. If you're a bit of a nerd like me, you would love this book. The aim of the book really is to help you break the habit of being you. So if you are sick and tired of the same old habits, doing the same old thing, and you are just tired of yourself, you want to break whatever you keep doing, you want to break that cycle, this is the book for you. It gives you concrete steps on what you can start doing to start breaking the habit. And honestly, I think listening to Joe Dispenza just generally is a brilliant way to start your self-development journey. Another one of my favorite books when it comes to starting your self-development journey has to be Atomic Habits. Oh my God, it is amazing. I read this book whilst I was away on holiday, and honestly, I couldn't wait to come back home and start incorporating really small, achievable habits. And it's something that I really stress in my coaching sessions as well, in my self-development coaching sessions with my clients. We always make sure that we put small, achievable habits in place. Now, one of the key takeaways from this book was the 1% rule. According to James Clear, the author of the book, if you get 1% better every day, you are 37 times likely to be good at it by the end of the year. There is literally a chart in the book that shows you the significant improvements that people can make in a particular habit and goal just by a small atomic 1% better mentality every single day. Honestly, we are in a hustle culture right now. We're in a culture where people are trying to do literally everything and anything, and we're falling on top of ourselves to achieve all of these great things, which is amazing, but it can also lead to burnout. This book really puts into perspective that you don't need to be going from here to here so quickly. You can literally make 1% change, 1% effort, 1% better at whatever you're trying to achieve every day. And by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better off than when you started. It is amazing, and it is so relaxing for my nervous system to hear that I don't need to be running around like a headless chicken to become better by the end of the year. I can literally just create small, consistent steps. And I know for a fact by the end of the year, I will get there. So it's a great starting point if you are thinking about your self-development journey. It's definitely a great book to pick up and read. I have it bookmarked. I have various pages bookmarked because I've just received so much value from the book. It's unbelievable. And it's something that I bring into my client sessions, and I see a lot of impact in my client sessions based off this book. The other one of my personal favorite tools is the reward law behavior. This is basically where you need to make sure that you reward yourself when you have achieved a certain small atomic habit. So you need to make sure this is done immediately, this is satisfying, and it's easy to do. So for example, a lot of people have a fitness goal. They want to run a mile every day. Now, a reward wouldn't be that you just pick up a chocolate bar because you ran a mile, right? I always hear this, oh, I can eat this chocolate or eat this ice cream because I went to the gym today. That isn't the reward. The reward needs to be quick, easy, simple, satisfying, and it needs to be something that is related to your desired outcome. So if your desired outcome is to get fitter, you can then start thinking about how you can reward yourself that's immediate and is satisfying to you right away after you've completed that goal. So for example, if you go to the gym and you've completed your hour session, you could then think about booking in a massage, because a massage is aligned with where you want to be, which is a fit person that looks after themselves. You could watch your favourite box set, so after you work out, you've showered up, you're a bit tired, you can put the TV on, watch your favourite box set, watch an episode of that. You don't do it any other time of the day, you just leave it as a reward for when you've completed the gym. Or it could be that you talk to one of your friends. So that friend that's always making you laugh, you pick up the phone and you go and speak to her straight after your workout as a little bit of a pick-me-up and as a little bit of a reward. And you can boast about all that you did at the gym that day. Honestly, for me personally, I started incorporating this into my life a few years ago. And massages were definitely up there for me, but simple things like just getting some sleep. So after a workout, I would reward myself with catching up on some sleep. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, well, you should be doing that anyway, but it's nice to know that you're giving yourself that extra bit of something, that extra bit of care when you need it, and it's straight off the back of a really good habit that you're trying to implement and put in place. So that is everything on the books. Those are my 3 favourite beginner books, but obviously have a look, see what books resonate with you. But honestly, I would start with self-help books. They are amazing. And again, somebody out there has definitely had or is having the same experience as you, and they have written a book about it. So why not investigate what they have done and take something from it? So the second step is meditation. This is a term that has been thrown around a lot, and it's definitely having its moment right now. However, let me deep dive into meditation for you. I think if you are on your self-development journey, it could potentially be because whatever you have been doing isn't working anymore. You're either feeling really stressed, you're feeling stuck, and you feel like you need to invest some time in yourself to get better. This is why I am recommending meditation. If you are starting your self-development journey, you need to make the right decisions for you, and you need to figure out what the best path is for you. Now, you can't do that if you are always stressed, and you can't do that if you come from a place of lack. Meditation can really help calm your nervous system down, and it can help calm your brain down. A lot of people say, I've tried meditating, but I keep thinking about my thoughts and my brain is really busy and it just doesn't work for me. That is the whole point. That is the whole point of meditation. Meditation is there to help you understand what is going on in your mind. So if thousands of thoughts come in through your meditation session, brilliant. It's an opportunity for you to observe your thoughts, to allow your thoughts to enter and leave, and to teach your brain how to redirect. Because when we're in a time of chaos, when we're in a time of stress, it's really difficult for us to stop thinking about our negative thoughts. And unfortunately, we get around 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. A lot of them are negativity bias because that's just the way our brain works. So meditation is a really good way of observing those thoughts and redirecting in a soft, constructive way. And it's a really good way of getting you to start training your brain to think about things in the way that you want to think about them. So for example, if you're listening to a guided meditation, it's a good way of you thinking about your thought, letting your thought go and coming back to the guided meditation and teaching your brain how to do that. So in times where you're feeling really stressed, you're able to redirect your brain in a more efficient and easy way. So meditation is great for starting your self-help development journey because it really gets you calming your nervous system down. There's also evidence that it shrinks your amygdala, which is in your brain. It shrinks that so you have a better response day to day to stress in comparison to someone that doesn't meditate. And it just helps you train your brain to start thinking a bit differently and redirecting it to more positive thoughts day to day. So if you're thinking about starting your self-development journey, it's good to get your body regulated and it's good to start training your brain to redirect naturally. Just a quick plug on the meditation. I host meditation sessions once a week on a Saturday at 9 a.m. online. If you wish to get into meditation and you want to explore it further, please leave a comment. I will send you a link to the next Google Meet meeting and I hope to see you there. The last and final step is celebrating your success. This is so important. Literally, it took me about a year of therapy to start doing this, and honestly, it's a game changer. I am an ex-workaholic. I am an ex-riddled with imposter syndrome type of girl. And honestly, I would work and never really celebrate my wins. I had this mentality that I shouldn't really celebrate my wins if I haven't achieved the overall goal. So what's the point of celebrating along the way when I haven't hit that goal? And I had this all or nothing mentality. And the problem with that is that it just led to me constantly increasing that bar. Nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever completed. There was no closure on anything that I was doing. It was just jumping from one thing to the other, one goal to the other, and just constantly dragging myself up by the collar and pulling myself through life. And during my time in therapy, I had realised with the help of my therapist how important it is to celebrate the smaller wins, to celebrate and to be grateful along the way, because it's not always about the outcome. Once you've achieved that outcome, we as humans, we want more. It's also about how we cope with situations, and it's also about how we progress within ourselves, and it's about the journey. It's not always just about that goal, right? What I did is I created a success board. I didn't create one, I purchased one from Amazon, and I bought some pins and I put a little bit of paper next to the board, and every time I'd have a little win. So for example, it could be me speaking in front of a group of people that is out of my comfort zone, or it could be that I went to the gym at the time that I said I was going to go to the gym. Whatever it is that is a win for me, I would literally write that down and pin it on the board. And at the end of each day and by the end of each week, I would have a look at the board and I would just look through all the successes and all the wins that I've had in that week. And honestly, it is so nice to read through all the little wins that you've had, and it really puts the week into perspective, because I used to have this mentality of nothing was ever good enough, so I would forget all the great things that I had done in that week, and I'd also forget all the great things that I had done in a year. And honestly, it was amazing, because I remember having a look at the whole year worth of wins that I had, and I was so proud of myself, and a lot of them I actually forgot. I actually forgot about a lot of those wins. So it was amazing for me to be able to look back and really celebrate everything that I had done. And I felt like I had had one of the most productive years of my life. Just from documenting all those small wins, I genuinely felt like I had had the most productive year. I was like, wow, what a year. I remember at Christmas, I usually ask everyone around the table what they're proud of for the year and what they're looking forward to in the following year. And honestly, I had so much to talk about because I had documented all my wins. And there is a lot of science actually around gratitude. So if you'd like me to go through that in a bit more detail, I can, but it's a game changer. And I honestly believe if you are on your self-development journey and you really want to become a better person within yourself, for your higher calling, for your purpose, for fulfillment in your life, honestly, start documenting your wins. You don't have to buy a board like me. You can literally just do it on a piece of paper, whatever, wherever, whenever you can. Start documenting little wins that you've had throughout the day. It might feel insignificant to you when you're writing it. Honestly, looking back at that is the best feeling ever, because what you'll see is those small wins have just compounded throughout the weeks and months. And it's similar to that 1% rule, right? You're 30 times better by the end of the year when you document all of those wins. Like, you feel 37 times more better by the end of the year because you've just got so much to celebrate. So yes, that is it from me. Those are the 3 easy, simple, no BS steps that you can take to start your self-development journey now. I hope this video has been really inspiring for you. I hope that you can start your self-development journey with these 3 steps soon. Please let me know how it has gone for you. Please let me know which one you're thinking to start first. I am really looking forward to hearing your journey and how everything is going for you. Also, I am a certified self-development coach and a mind-body practitioner. So if you need help with your self-development journey and you resonate with me, you resonate with my energy, then please leave me a comment. You can also fill the form on my website. I will link everything below and I can help you with your self-development journey. But for now, thank you and I'll see you soon. Bye.